this could be a catalyst that turns over a new leaf, as they elect their own parliament, new chief justices, new president, prime minister, and start to tackle the issues that are at hand. And if Haiti, really has a new awakening, it could be the start of something new. Welcome to Relatively Conscious. My name is Antonio Brown.
Irvin Bryant.
Shout out to the DJ for making our beat.
At DW Made That on social media.
Follow us on social media.
That's at Kind of Woke on Instagram and Twitter. Relatively Conscious everywhere else. Just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us, share it with somebody for real. Let them know. Because today we're talking about the diaspora, and I gotta say, we can ask this at the top and then at the bottom, at the beginning and at the end. Okay, what do you think Afro-Americans should do to help out our less privileged diasporic cousins? Because let's be real, America's wild. But as far as Afro-Americans go, I would argue we got it best in the diaspora. Life is hard out here for African peoples. And despite coming from slaves, we're living in the lap of luxury. But as we'll discuss, the rest of the diaspora is trying to get there, but it's very, very hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's something people will always, they'll hear you say that, and then like, no, I'm not living the best, because,
I know, right? It's great.
Yeah, because
police violence. It's like, oh, you don't know about police violence. That's really crazy. Our police, it used to be pretty bad, but other people have been caught up and surpassed us.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not gonna cover Nigeria, but like they regulatively have kidnappings, and so I guess there's some places on the west coast of Africa that are not dealing with too much going on. But I mean, even then, COVID still racked them because most of them are dependent upon tourism. So yeah, if you live in the United States and you're Black, you're probably living better than 99% of the rest of the diaspora. Anyway, so first we're gonna cover the Caribbean. So Haiti and Cuba. You want to kick us off?
What happened in Haiti? Because some people don't know. It's a big story, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah. So the only problem is, do not ask me to pronounce names. I'm gonna.
Oh Lord.
So anyway, the catalyst thing that happened is that the president got assassinated, and who did it is a question that's still being answered right now. What we do know is that there was a group of who were there at the presidential palace, and then most of them are Colombian trained paramilitary people. So former Colombian military, some of them cartel people who got trained to be military. And then you have two Haitian Americans, one being a doctor from Miami/Tampa Bay. I forgot what the other one's from. And they were the ones who were captured outside of the presidential palace. And they're the ones who are currently, I think there's like 5 Colombian guys still missing, but the rest of them are pretty much in custody. Some of them died at the scene when the police pulled up to figure out what was going on. That's the catalyst of the situation, but it gets much more murky than that.
Okay, but see, you started with who pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows anything about anything, that's the least of your worries,
Yes.
I just thought about this. So we don't know the guys' names. I don't know the guys' names who killed Fred Hampton.
Yes.
Right. So least of our worries, honestly, in real life, this is a cop. This is a regular 9-to-5 dude, middle to lower class, probably at the time.
Yes.
Not getting paid nothing. So sure, there was trigger man, but who's pulling the strings? Who put the hit out? Or who's the suspect, at least?
Okay, so there are 3 theories. All right. And so theory number 1 is the person who was supposed to be the prime minister. So there was a prime minister. The prime minister had been in his position for too long. He hadn't stepped down, but he finally came to agreement. He had come to an agreement with another guy supposed to become prime minister to become his foreign minister, basically, right? Prime Minister 1, Prime Minister 2. Someone named them. But there's a thought process that maybe Prime Minister 1 hired some Colombian drug cartel guys to come in there and kill the president, because the presidential security detail wasn't in the presidential palace when he died. And the Colombian guys in the Haitian American keep saying, when we pulled up, he was already dead. So we didn't kill him. He was already dead when we got there. And a Haitian American doctor keeps saying, I was only there to translate and to get him to sign a documentation to step down as president and put somebody else in as president. Here's a second theory. The second theory is that the presidential security team. And so the president has a security team that's supposed to take care of him. They weren't there when he died. So the idea is maybe they killed him, hired Colombian military personnel people, and then I hired them to come in. And basically looks like they killed the president when really the security detail, killed the president because I was tired of being president. Because this is what we talk about the president. He refused to step down. He got elected in 2016, complications with the elections, allegations of voter fraud, election fraud. And so he didn't get instated until 2017. The Haitian constitution says the president serves for 5 years. So he gets elected in 2016, he steps down in 2021. But if he doesn't take his office in 2017, his argument is that I don't leave to 2022. And so that was the whole issue. It was currently a constitutional crisis over the president refusing to vacate his office because he said I didn't get instated until 2017. The idea is that maybe the detail was the one who killed the president and then had these Colombian guys take the fall for it. The last one, which is much more convoluted, that is a secondary party that did it we don't know about. Maybe Colombia, maybe Venezuela, maybe the United States of America, maybe someone like that is behind this plot, and we just don't know yet.
So it's either internal, I guess it could be anybody. I'm trying to guess. Like, it could be an inside man, or a different inside man, or somebody not on the inside.
Yeah. And so, but that makes it all more confusing what exactly is going on. Yeah, and whose side to be on. And so the next question is the succession of power, because that's the next question I have now. It's like,
wait, hold on, rewind. Yeah, you did answer. You answered two of my questions at once.
Yeah,
because I was about to ask why. But yeah, I mean, why though? So yeah, let's rewind. Why? Because let's be real, okay? I know you're a Haitian politician. Let's say prime minister theory. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a Haitian politician. Haiti's poor. It's been struggling since day one, basically. But you're not trying to leave. You're not trying to do something else. If I'm gonna do some dirt, let me move some drugs. Let me move over to a different place. Let me do some real estate racket. Being the president of Haiti, no shade to Haiti. So there's beautiful people, beautiful culture, beautiful story. But it doesn't seem worth it to murder a president. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows he's the president in the world, and you're gonna murder him to take his spot, to have like the hardest job ever, where you getting hit by natural disasters, earthquake, hurricane. You've inherited crazy levels of poverty. You could give me the whole world, I wouldn't be the president of Haiti, straight up. It's just too hard. It's possible.
Yeah, and so it's a way to make money in Haiti because you can't, if you decide to do this, you could be a way station for drugs coming to the United States of America. So I can stop in Haiti and then I can provide safe haven. There's a way to make money as a Haitian president, right? And so it's not about solving the problems of Haiti. It's about fatting my pockets. And so that could be the reason why. Or maybe you could be power hungry. Just believe that I can be the guy to be president of Haiti.
So if that's true, if all of my truly power hungry Haitian, the real ones who are, I don't know who's who, right?
Yeah.
I'm not into Haitian politics like that. But if I know people are on that power hungry, I want the access so I can, be the one dude balling on this half of the island. Why don't we just I don't mess with none of y'all. Obviously, one of y'all is doing dirt, and you say I don't know who to support. Forget all y'all.
So that's what the young Haitian social intellectual class is the term I'll use. I think young students, scholars, some newly minted scholars, people who maybe migrated from Haiti to America, went to school and then came back basically to the island. They are on the mindset that we need to have new elections altogether. And so again, another wrinkle in the plan is that Haiti has a parliamentary government, right? So I didn't say prime minister, give you a hint. Parliament has been meeting because all their elections is contested. There's only 10 senators really with any power. Haiti has a court system also, like a Supreme Court. They have a chief justice. He should have been second in command now, but he died of COVID recently. And so all the other judges on the Supreme Court are all considered to be contested. And so most of the young Haitian people are saying, well, we just need to have new elections altogether. And they want to do it in September. Though the old school scholars in Haiti are saying that's too fast. And we need to kind of sit down because the whiplash of what's going on right now is just too much. It's just too much going on. But that is the call. The call is to like just nobody's in charge, new elections, a new parliament, a new prime minister, a new president, new constitution, maybe all together. But Haiti just wrote a new constitution in 2012. And that constitution is technically not considered to be the correct constitution because the 1984 constitution said if you write a new constitution, it has to be immediately translated into French Creole. And the 2012 constitution was not translated into French Creole. So does it even count as a constitution? Yeah, so there is a contingent of people saying it's time to start over again.
Okay. So check me out. We got 3 assassination theories.
Yes.
Okay. We've got the old school political idea and the new school political idea. How are we gonna move forward, right? Do we maintain business as usual or do we overhaul the system? Okay, what's the fallout? Because this happened a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, so the fallout is at the time, I want to say absolute chaos, but not really. For the everyday Haitian, life has been pretty bad already. So they have what I would call baby cartels, gangs that have been roaming the cities that have been getting money from the cartels. They do a little bit of work for them, right? So I can move a little bit of drugs through the island to America or to Mexico, right? So that's already an issue. And so for the everyday Haitian, the fallout has been minimal. The president may be dead, but the cartel still run my neighborhood. So like, the boss is still here. And the fallout is that there's already been a call by one of the prime ministers who may have been the president who killed the president for U.S. interference or the United Nations interference to come here and to figure things out. And some young Haitians don't want that to happen because there's still scars from all the way back in the early 1900s. So early 1900s when America occupied Haiti from about 1914, 15 to 1934. And then America also reinstated a president in 1994 with the Marines coming to Haiti. That was, for a while, that was considered to be a good thing. Now it's looked back on as a bad thing. It's kind of who you talk to, what they are concerned with the outcomes. And so the fallout could be foreign interference. If Haiti doesn't, get its stuff together, which sounds very arrogant coming from an American, but if Haiti doesn't get its stuff together, then there could be influence from the United Nations to step in and figure out what Haiti is going to do for itself by somebody else.
Okay. 2 plans generally of how to move forward. The most contrasting. And then now we got the power vacuum. Politicians are jockeying. People are ready for a political revolution. Let's call it that, right? Political overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
And they might just call Uncle Sam over. Yeesh. Okay, what's the positive outlook?
So
what's the hope?
So the hope is one, as you know, I don't like the United Nations. Yeah. But the United Nations doesn't move unless not the United States of America says so. And they especially don't move in our backyard, the Caribbeans, unless we say so.
Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah. President Biden seems to be very hesitant to send troops to Haiti. So he doesn't seem to really want to do that.
I mean, we're just now leaving Afghanistan, so yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make sense for him to move to do that. Also, to move into Haiti, just leave it in Afghanistan. But there is some argument from the older political elites that maybe having the United States here is not a bad idea. So they can run elections. We could have somebody actually run elections and not worry about it being fraud. And then we can get some stability in the country. And that, if you have elections that aren't contested immediately, and you get some real new political elites in the system and the working, then it could be a new day for Haiti. This could be a catalyst that turns over a new leaf, as they elect their own parliament, new chief justices, a new president, prime minister, and start to tackle the issues that are at hand. And also with a president like Joe Biden and his pulling from the left that wants him to take an approach to Haiti that is about supporting democracies, which has always been the approach to Haiti. And so if it's not new, it's just maybe less soldiers and more books, is a change in the approach. But it could have a good outcome. It could be an outcome to where we see some good happen. But it's a long road ahead. Haiti, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if Haiti, really has a new awakening, it won't happen in a day. It'll be 10 years from now, we'll see the fruits of the labor. But it could be the start of something new. All right, my name is Hans Brown.
Irvin Bryant.
Peace.